Because like if you said like you're a billionaire, so you can go to space in like the 50s or 60s, they'd say, go take a hike.
Yeah, true.
But I still think there would have to be like some sort of like regulation set so you don't
definitely.
mess up the entire space-time continuum. Like if you went back in time because you didn't have a purpose to go back and then you messed something up, you could alter everything. So imagine this.
Or you did it for your own gain.
Or you did it for your own personal need, like aside from like the needs of humanity. So imagine this. Maybe someone did go back in time and change something, and we had a friend that was sitting here like just 1 second ago, and now he's not here, and we don't remember anything about him because something got changed.
Right. Bringing this back up.
It's a good point. Like anything could happen that we don't know has already happened.
This is kind of ridiculous, but let's just call it free thinking. What if like some sort of time travel was a thing, but it's like when you time travel, that like whatever company is like, let's say like it's recreational time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that company had a way to like make a whole copy, and then like say like go at it.
So it would be like Westworld,
Yeah.
but it's an actual timeline.
Yeah, but like I mean like you say like that's too much. Like that's too much data. That's too much.
Are you saying like they could create an entire new timeline in a simulation?
Yeah.
So would it be
Or an entirely new dimension.
like a pocket dimension for like training time travelers, I'd say, or
Training, just screwing around.
oh,
That would be so.
that would go back to the Elon Musk thing. Like rich people messing with time, they can mess with time all they want, and not actually affect them.
Honestly, I feel like if they did that, that would be sick.
That would be awesome.
But it would definitely be like Westworld. You can't die. They control it pretty well, and hopefully. I haven't seen Westworld then again, but I know the basics.
Yeah.
So my thought with this is going back a bit, but your whole like, oh well, like in the 60s and 50s, if you were like, oh I've got a bunch of money, here's money, I want to go to space, they'd be like, no. Well, I mean like, I get what you were like what you're saying, but I also think there's not really any repercussions from like, oh you're really rich and you want to go to space, go ahead. Like, there's not really, like, oh, you're gonna, like, screw everybody over. Like, that's not gonna happen. Like, with with going back in the past.
All right.
Where it's like, oh, you want to, like, I don't know, like, get really, really, really rich. Like, go ahead. That's gonna screw a lot of things up.
But think about it this way: if Elon Musk's next like rocket, where that Japanese guy or who is it, a Chinese guy? Japanese billionaire that's gonna pay to go up, he goes up, he goes around the moon, and let's just happen at the same time this advanced civilization is also passing through our solar system. They see that we've developed this technology and seeing that we're ready to become like a higher species.
And they're like, here's time travel.
I'm gonna say if you go back in time and mess with that moment, then that kind of screws our entire civilization up for like probably centuries to come.
Why would that screw us up?
Because think about it, if we discover like the truth of like extraterrestrial life, then I think that would be pretty.
That would help us.
Yeah, and or destroy us. That would be a pretty impactful event, no matter how way you look at it. That it would affect humankind as a whole.
But the fact is, if you're saying aliens pass through, they're either gonna be like, "Ha, losers, y'all are just getting to that," or you're gonna like, or they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's really cool that they're like finally getting to that, and they're gonna help us out," or they're gonna be dicks and be like, "Oh, we're gonna take over."
You still rely on nuclear power? Like you still rely on that?
Hi, you still
We run on Apple products.
And as fun as I think
Your America doesn't run on Dunkin's like you say it does?
and as fun as I think it would be, I do not want Trump in the White House when we make extraterrestrial contact.
Now he'd be like, build a space wall.
Oh my god.
We must build a wall, a space wall, to protect our country, our great country of the United States.
This is getting a bit political, but
we'd be
it's gonna be huge. Okay, I'm done.
Just build it like in front of America, nowhere else.
just like a big stained glass window in front of America on the earth.
Reagan did make a project called Star Wars to make like a cannons thing in space. I don't remember what it was, but it was literally called Project Star Wars. I'm dead serious.
Trump has like reinitiated that protocol. Like he wants to. I don't think he'll get it past Congress, but
Probably not, because there's not really a need to. I mean,
the big problem with that is like,
yeah.
I feel like it'd be like nukes, where it's like, oh, America has them, we want them, and then like everybody's like, oh, let's make a space cannon,
And then everyone has space cannons.
and then everybody's like, oh, and it's like worse than the Cold War. And it's like, do you want to die? Do you want to die? We're all gonna die. It's like the freaking Office in the Mexican standoff. At the very end of that one episode, everybody's pointing guns at each other, like, who's gonna pull the trigger first?
Oh my god.
Nah, dude. Like here's like if Trump wanted to build a space wall, I think this is how he'd sell it to Congress. He'd be like, regular wall, ineffective. They can just use ladders. Space wall.
Planes.
I haven't heard of no space ladders.
Big fat. And then, okay,
We gotta make a dome over America.
You've never heard of a dome ladder?
oh my. All right. Before we get like too off topic, I'm gonna rope y'all back in a little bit. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. We're. Okay. All right. So y'all were saying stuff about a time bureau, right? Yeah, time bureau. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm illiterate, but anyway, what do y'all think of like a time mafia? Do you think that's a possibility?
Like a time smuggling system?
Maybe.
Han Solo?
Oh yeah, so like smuggling like artifacts from like back in time to the future.
Maybe.
Dang, they took Alexander's body.
But I. Oh, okay, for sure. But I was thinking more because like there's a movie with Bruce Willis called Looper. I don't know if y'all have heard of it, but it's like okay. So basically, the premise of the movie is you got guys in the future, like pretty much there's a mafia group, and disposing a body in the future is basically impossible. So they have like their own time machine to send people back to the past, and then they have guys in the past. They're called loopers, and they kill the people that they send back, so that way they can dispose of the bodies. And yeah, so they basically keep doing this, and then one of the loopers eventually breaks the cycle, thus
Screwing up the time.
pretty much screwing up the mafia. Basically, yeah, because he pretty much screwed over the mafia by not killing a person that he needed to kill. So, like, I don't know if it would be that specific, but like I think with that idea in mind, it probably could be possible there is like a time mafia doing some kind of work. Doesn't matter if it's like killing people, stealing artifacts, could be anything. So like I definitely think it could be possible there could be a time.
Elected. No, okay.
Nah. Oh my god.
That was probably legit.
All the conservatives are time travelers. Confirmed.
Please don't.
Hey, or liberals. Hey, or liberals.
See, now we're getting
We
back.
gotta be equal
If
here.
they come from the future, we're screwed.
The liberals?
But now we're getting back to the point where no. I actually want to get into this because
Merry Christmas.
a time traveler could have gone back in time
Okay.
when a time when Hillary was elected, and before that changed that. Hillary could have been elected, and someone went back in time and changed it. Would go Trump was elected.
Or the world will have gotten worse because of Hillary. So then they wanted Trump.
Yeah. Boy.
Like, let's just try it. No.
Okay, we need to stop the politics.
All right, let's.
Someone's gonna get triggered.
Let's
Triggered.
All right, like let's say recreational time travel is a thing in the future.
Yeah.
Name like one place you'd want to go back to.
I'd probably see like the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Honestly,
I feel like you just be like,
yeah, no, I know, like I'd be like, hey, GW, let me get a signature on that boy. Let me get a sign on that.
no, invisible ink.
Yeah.
Oh, like national treasure. The back of you signed the back of the Declaration of Independence.
I may have the Declaration in my house. Well, it's a copy, but yeah.
But yeah, even still though, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually sitting in my room.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, where would y'all go if y'all wanted to like have your own separate pocket dimension, kind of?
If I wanted to live through it, I'd probably go to the 50s. I really like this. I just like the style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Elvis, Johnny Cash, Greasers, like that would be sick. I'd love that. And the cars are hot.
But what about them commies though?
No offense, right?
Fuck those commies.
No offense, Russians, but
Or Americans. There's communist Americans.
They were spies.
No, there's like actual communists.
Yeah, we have a communist party.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh crap. Okay.
It's run by Hillary.
Well, if Communist Party hears this, we apologize for any anti-communist speak. Yeah.
That's my own opinion.
I'm not afraid of you. I have a katana.
Oh no. And this is
I got my battering knife in my room. I'll slice you up, you red bastard.
All right, but going back to the this pocket dimension, could you change things?
I feel like if you get bored of something, you could be like, hey, let me go to somewhere else, and then they could probably pull you out, change it up for you, and then send you back in.
So we're not talking about actually time travel. We're talking about pocket dimension.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sick. Oh,
Yeah.
Would it be the same exact events that had transpired?
Yeah. Like, everything's legit.
Everything.
You can even, like, sense it. You can see it, smell it,
Wow.
feel it.
Okay.
It's all there.
there's so many choices.
Mm-hmm. But nothing you do in there would actually have an impact.
No,
on
it's
you.
a pocket dimension.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you could, but
It would be like, oh, you're done. Okay, we'll delete that part.
yeah, it'd be like a file. You'd
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
You done? Okay, delete.
I would probably want to go to when Stonehenge was created to see what happened there,
How do you do that?
or how they.
Ropes and hinges. And
But we don't know what it means. Like what? We don't even know who created
do.
it. No, we don't.
yes, we do.
What does it mean?
It was for solar calendar.
That's like the.
Are you saying
That's the actual. How we don't know.
No, I'm not talking like
well,
they're all how and like why, because it does work as a solar calendar, but I think there's a bigger meaning behind it.
I don't think there is.
Why do you do
I think you're looking. I think it's like the pyramids, and people looking too much into it
I mean,
when they don't need to, because the answer is right on the surface.
Why don't we do another video about
Yeah,
Stonehenge and pyramids?
like the
and-
7 wonders of the world, or is there 8?
Yeah.
8 wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, 8. Yeah.
Ancient and present.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, where I would go is probably ancient Greece.
Oh,
With, like,
yeah.
Socrates, be like chilling, philosophical stuff.
Yeah.
We hash it out. We'd be like, dang, what do you think the... No. I would bring... So, I'd bring back...
They're supposed to be in the kitchen anyway. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I'd just be like... What do you think would happen if, like, it was a pocket dimension and you brought back weed to, like, philosophers and they were smoking?
Dang, they'd have some deep
Yeah,
thoughts.
Give Aristotle some of that.
He'd be like, now Alexander.
Oh my god, no.
Here's what you gotta do.
Oh my god, no.
Why don't you just invite the Persians over to... You just...
Oh my god, no.
Okay. So that's your choice, Jake?
If we're not like you're right, Stonehenge. Like I guess I'm reading too much into it, but I'm saying it could be more of it. But
It's possible.
without changing anything, just observing, probably go back to like the medieval period.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, and just like with all my knowledge, like convinced like I was like some sort of like alchemist or wizard kind of thing, and have like a really like seat on a council or something. That'd be cool.
Davis, you could be a knight. Go to the Crusades. If I'd send
That's no.
I'd save Davis on the Crusades. He'd have that whole thing.
Nah, they were idiots. I mean, like, the first one wasn't too bad. I get why they did the first one. Of course, never mind. I'm not getting into that, but the other ones were pretty bad. It was especially the last one. Gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We won.
Stop. No, they didn't win.
Yo, okay, so I had a thought. So, you know how like if time travel does actually become a thing, they're gonna be trained on it and all that. Like those simulations, like or the pocket dimensions that we were just discussing, could be used because like you can always repeat it over and over until like the desired outcome does occur, and a lot of data would have to be processed. But that's probably gonna be a hell of data. So, like if. But let's say that you run multiple trials, get the desired outcome you want. Do you think you could take that, what you've learned, what you need to do, like it's got to be precise? Do you think you could like change the past and that would be the exact way that it would turn out?
Well, I don't think we would have a way of knowing unless we had actual time travel. Do you think we would have actual time travel before we had dimensional time travel?
Yeah, I probably because
I hope that comes out sometime.
Oh my god.
Like, I hope it comes out. E3 2013. Or no, 2023.
Dude, if that
Pocket Missile Time
exists
Travel by
before we
Apple.
die, I'm gonna be so happy.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No,
I would take so much advantage of that.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean,
No, I'm not gonna get religious about it. I was gonna say something, but never mind.
Already.
all right. Okay.
I would choose probably Byzantine.
The Byzantine Empire.
Yeah.
You would get beheaded in like 3
No,
seconds.
Why would
Because
I?
you're white.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Wait, Byzantine Empire?
The Byzantine Empire.
They were run by white people.
That was
They were Europeans. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the Greek.
No, you're thinking about
Stupid.
You're thinking about Istanbul.
Oh shoot! Yeah. Dang, my AP Euro teacher would kill me for that. Okay.
Anyway, Jake, you were saying before, I don't know what happened.
I don't know what just happened, but yeah.
So Byzantine, because Christians, and I mean, from what I learned in in world history, well, actually AP World,
Yeah.
they were pretty good. I mean, they had a pretty nice
Oh, I mean, the
city,
they
the
like
like a
Byzantine Empire
pretty
lasted
nice
for a
city.
while.
They lasted 1,000 years after the Romans. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Okay, but going back to the time travel, what Chess was saying, I do think that they would have to be like trained in a certain way, but
Definitely.
Yeah, but like, how would you, go about doing that when first time? Yeah, like, because you've had like no test. Because I feel like you probably would have to come time travel.
yeah, just to know what actually happens.
Yeah.
Or you could have a device that could look into the past without somebody actually going to it and creating a new, like what Baldwin said, would a copy of the universe and make it like that.
Time periscope. That would explain UFOs. Time periscopes.
Okay, I mean, that is like a saying, if if like a greater civilization saw that we had developed this, I think that they would have made it themselves like notice to us. Like, if we had already invented time travel, I'm thinking the civilization would.
Nah, even then, because what if like I don't want to bring up any more speculation, but like, what if they've been studying us, we don't even know it? Because I feel like the human mind probably wouldn't be it wouldn't comprehend what we're seeing. If it's like higher beings, like we wouldn't understand it either way. So it's like, what's the point of them even revealing them?
Think about it like Star Trek. Like, you're not allowed. It's not cool. Federation won't go for it.
Yeah, but
I
even
think-
still, you know.
Yeah. I think naturally people are probably, well, not, of course, they aren't going to be people. Well, they will be, but they won't be humans. I think for the most part, they're probably, hopefully going to be good. If they exist, they probably do.
Yeah.
And I think if they were close enough, we would know, just because of the fact that, like, NASA sent out a golden record
With all of our
with all
information, yeah.
history and stuff, as well as how to like understand us. And then also when Doctor Who first started, the first episode was broadcasted out to like all of the universe.
True.
So we would definitely have gotten a response by now.
But while we're talking about like
Probably.
aliens and time travel, we could compare it to like the movie. Did any of you ever see Arrival?
Oh, that sounds
No,
so
it did not.
familiar. That sounds so
It was
familiar.
with she's Lois Lane now.
Yeah.
What's her name?
What's her name?
Redhead.
Scarlett Johansson.
No.
No, boy.
That's Black Widow.
That's the only redhead I know.
redhead now.
Nope.
She's blonde.
She's blonde.
Oh.
I know. I've heard of this movie.
Yeah. Basically, she's a really famous one. I'm blanking on it. But
Also had Hawkeye.
yeah, it also
It's
has
like
that too.
it was like the photo for it was like just a boring white pod.
The,
like a
the
field.
alien ships were like these huge like black crystals.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. Yeah, this came out. Did it come out last year? Or this
No,
year?
it was
like
like
a few
3
years ago.
Yeah.
I actually never watched it because it seems stupid.
But the premise, it was actually a really good movie because the premise behind it, aliens come to Earth
right.
and the entire world flips out about it, like there are riots in the streets and everything like that. And then one lands in each country. So so in America, they got like the best scientists, the best linguists in the world to try to understand them. And they theorized like to these aliens, time isn't linear. It's like basically a canyon that they can cross. Like our perspective of time is that we got past, present, and future. To them, they just see it as like stepping stones in time. So like they use time as a way of traveling, not as time travel, but as just walking for us. That time time is linear for us, but for them it's like just the stepstones they walk on.
Oh.
Yeah, and at the end of the end of the movie was very confusing. You guys, if any of you know in the comments, explain to me the end of Arrival, please. But I have no idea.
Probably a YouTube video.
There probably is, but
If not a bunch.
there are probably a bunch. But they basically talked to the linguist girl, that's the famous lady we're blanking on right now. They basically used her thoughts to show her a past that didn't happen. So she could prevent like a world catastrophe because China was about to nuke the aliens and that would have like led to a bunch of other stuff. But she by giving her that information that she had, she saved everything. So like if this advanced civilization did exist and like they used time as a stepping stone kind of thing, I think they would use it to help us instead of just like invading us kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now that actually that kind of end kind of reminds me. It's like, what's it called? Is it like The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise?
Oh yeah.
It kind of like, yeah.
Fun fact: that movie was actually derived from a manga.
I'm not surprised.
It's
It had mechs in it.
It was
I'm not
called
surprised.
All You Need Is Kill.
Oh, was that the one where it's like he keeps dying over and over and
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again?
that
Okay, yeah.
It's
So-
basically Groundhog Day except with aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
And war.
And war.
So like Arrival, I feel like would tie in a little bit to the End of Tomorrow because like I feel like that you can't. It could be like a process where like they keep repeating it over and over, and like because China drops the nukes on them, which probably kills them.
Yeah.
Thus resetting the day like an edge of like is it edge or end? Edge of Tomorrow. Okay, so like maybe they're like trapped in a loop or something because of something that does happen. Because they could be advanced enough for that to actually happen.
That's
I mean,
why
this-
it's stepping stones, is because
yeah,
they keep
yeah.
going back and
But the
forth and
speed
back
that
and
we're
forth
doing-
and
we're talking
back and
about like
forth and
that,
back and forth
yeah.
and back and forth.
But like we're talking about like that, the species in Edge of Tomorrow actually used time travel to like win their invasion.
Yeah, but that was only.
Then why would they help us?
Well, I'm saying
Because
we're comparing like
they
two
would-
types of civilization. If we're talking about like the Edge of Tomorrow kind of aliens, they use time travel to hurt us. But
Right.
if we're talking about the Arrival ones, like they use time travel to help us.
Oh, yeah.
But the only reason that was activated in Edge of Tomorrow is because like I think Tom Cruise killed like or wait no
Yeah, he killed
He
killed this alien. Like out of all the other ones, like he killed an alpha. I think.
yeah, and that's what
That's what triggered the loop, but the alpha already had the power to reset the day and learn and adapt, so they would never fail in an invasion.
okay, so, and he got that ability.
got that ability.
Okay, yeah, but okay. Now, what if we took that concept and maybe put it towards like going back in time, just regular, like no pocket dimensions?
Yeah.
What would happen like if we use that kind of thing? We could just keep resetting and resetting until we get the desired outcome that we would want. So it technically couldn't hurt if we did it like that. It's kind of a weird thing to think about, but like if we do something that messes up, we could just like
I don't
Hit a
know.
button and it restarts the day.
Yeah, basically. What if we did that?
Control-Z.
Yeah, what if we did that?
Even if you have to dip to
Yeah.
fix things.
Yeah.
But if you go back in time, mess something up, and then try to go back to the time before you messed it up, would you run into yourself that was trying to mess it up?
I think you would.
So that
No.
That would be
I think
good.
you would know what's going on. You'd know what you did. So
but
you're just like
your other self would still be there because they were trying to fix the thing in the first
right.
place.
I'm saying, if you're the future you,
Yeah.
and you know you screwed it up,
Yeah.
you would know what you did. So then you could easily be like, okay, I know he was on this street, so I'm gonna go to this street that's like 5 blocks away, so I
Yeah.
definitely don't run into him. Because you'll know what you did.
Okay.
So
now-
it's not like, oh, he's gonna run into me.
All right, now let me ask you this: if that guy messes up the mess up, would the future version of him try to come back and fix that? And I'm saying that could also cause a loop where, if you've ever seen the Family Guy episode where Stewie and Brian go back, they go back in time, they stop 9/11 from happening, and
And then Brian's famous.
Yeah, and then Brian's famous, and then
Because he beat the crap out of a bunch of.
and then they come back, and I think World War III starts, so they go back in time again to stop the original thing from happening, and then more Stewie and Brian's keep showing up saying stop 9/11, keep 9/11, stop 9/11, keep 9/11, and oh my god, that's so funny. But I wouldn't want to go back to a time where I've already existed because that would just mess everything
But if you
up.
have to fix something, then again, you would know where. I think if you know time travel exists and you're going into the future, you could probably be like you could stop yourself and be like, "Hey, dumbass, stop that."